Another statement that should not be overlooked: wise individuals should carefully consider their decisions to avoid the negative consequences of inadequate deliberation. And now, here is the past story of the demon conqueror. You are invited to listen. The Maha Chattaka Jataka, the hermit Chattaka takes power. King Brahmadatta of Varanasi led his army to attack the city of Savatthi and imprisoned King Kosala. Prince Chattaka, the son of King Kosala, escaped from the attack and went to study the Tripitaka and 18 branches of arts in the city of Taxila. He traveled to various institutions until he arrived at a border village where a hermitage of 500 hermits resided in the forest. Prince Chattaka decided to study under these hermits and eventually became a teacher due to his exceptional abilities. One day, he asked the hermits why they lived in such a remote area and not in a more prosperous place. The hermits replied, "We do not dare to go because we fear being asked questions or giving blessings and auspicious sayings. If we fail to respond correctly, we would be criticized." Chattaka reassured them, saying, "Do not worry, I am proficient in all these matters." He then led them to the city of Varanasi. After King Brahmadatta conquered Varanasi and the Kosala kingdom, he appointed his men as governors to oversee Savatthi and ordered treasure to be buried in metal pots in the royal park of Varanasi. The king allowed the hermits to stay in the royal park. The next morning, the king saw the hermits on their alms round and was deeply impressed, inviting them to have their meal in the royal hall. Prince Chattaka, now a hermit, skillfully answered questions and gave blessings, greatly pleasing the king, who then invited the hermits to stay in the park permanently. Due to his expertise in spells, Hermit Chattaka discovered that his father's treasure was buried in the park. He revealed his true identity to the hermits and expressed his intention to reclaim his kingdom from King Brahmadatta. He asked for their support, and they unanimously agreed. The hermits made sacks to carry the treasure. At night, they dug up the treasure, filled the sacks, and replaced the pots with grass. They then set out immediately for Savatthi. Upon arrival, they imprisoned the governor, reclaimed the throne, and fortified the city's gates and ramparts to defend against enemies. Prince Chattaka then ascended the throne. When King Brahmadatta learned that the hermits had taken all the treasure, he was deeply regretful and lamented, "Whose grass is this?" A compassionate minister, seeing the king's distress, advised him to focus on his royal duties instead of dwelling on the grass. The king replied, "Chattaka the hermit, who is celibate and knowledgeable, took the treasure I gave him shelter for. Why did he steal all my treasure and leave only grass?" The minister responded, "Chattaka only took what belonged to his father and did not take anything that wasn't his. Why should your majesty be sorrowful over this?" The king continued, "This is not the behavior of a virtuous and celibate person but that of a wicked man." After expressing his feelings, the king's sorrow diminished, and he continued to rule righteously. The moral of this Jataka tale is, if something does not belong to us, its rightful owner will eventually reclaim it. Truly good people will not dare to do wrong. The Buddhist proverb associated with this story teaches, one should not seek wealth through deceit. This Jataka tale has come to an end, and the saying that everyone should consider as wise individuals should carefully consider their decisions to avoid the negative consequences of inadequate deliberation. May everyone benefit from listening to this story.